Good evening, everyone. Coming to you live from my bedroom in Phoenix, taking a look at Auckland, New Zealand, specifically Eden Park, for the second Women's World Cup game at this venue. It's the two-time defending champions, United States, against one of the debutantes, one of the 8 debutantes in this Women's World Cup in Vietnam. Hello, everyone. I'm Hirsen Hassan, and thanks for tuning in on this Friday night. A lot of great action throughout this Women's World Cup. This one, the first of today, of course, even though here in Phoenix it is still Friday night, it is Saturday over in New Zealand. Of course, a lot of great matches. There's going to be 4 in the course of the day. That is Saturday in Oceania. This one, the first up, Zambia, Japan, which will be at midnight. England, Haiti, which will be at 2:30, and Denmark, China, which will be at 5 a.m. All those listings you heard are in Pacific time, if you're wondering. By the way, we will be doing a live react tomorrow at 5 a.m. for Denmark versus China. Both teams are on the pitch, so let's take a look at the starting lineup. And we'll start off with the U.S. women's national team, coached by Vlatko Andonovski. In goal, Alyssa Nair, and they'll be in a 4-3-3. And let's take a look at the back line going from left to right. It'll be Crystal Dunn, Naomi Girma, Julie Ertz, and Emily Fox. The midfield today will be Lindsay Horan, Andy Sullivan, and Savannah DeMello. And up top will be Trinity Rodman, Alex Morgan, and Sophia Smith. A lot of big options for the U.S. women's national team off the bench, including Megan Rapinoe and Rose Lavelle, both of which scored in the Women's World Cup final in 2019. Let's take a look at Vietnam on the other side. In goal for them will be T. Kim Tan, and they will be in a 5-4-1 when it comes to their field players. Let's take a look at their defenders going from left to right. It will be T. Loan, T. Tu, T. Diem Mai, T. Tuong, and T. Tu Tao. And at the midfield will be T. Tu Yadung, T. Tao, T. Bish Tui, and T. Hai Lin. And New will be up top. They're head coached by Mai Duk Chung. What a cloudy, overcast day in Auckland, New Zealand. Again, a lot of big options, a lot of big opportunities for both sides. Rather coolish, 57 degrees, and it will be New and Vietnam to kick it off here. Match day 1 is officially, will be underway very soon. Nonetheless, here we go. Good evening, America. Good morning, Vietnam. Match day 1 for your respective sides is underway. The United States women's national team will be in their white tops and navy blue shorts going from left to right. Vietnam will be in their all-red kits going from right to left. This one flicked up by Alex Morgan and off towards Trinity Rodman, who goes down, and the referee will tell her to get up. Rodman will stay down there. That was a pretty big knock, and now we are just 30 seconds into this match. Again, Trinity Rodman, the daughter of former NBA player Dennis Rodman, so she is known for taking knocks when it is given in the moment. I'm listening to this on Telemundo, by the way. Got their main crew out front: Andres Cantor, Manuel Sol, and Natalia Astrain. Already a big collision there. Again, no indication of a foul or free kick, whatever. As we get a look at Vlatko Andonovski, kind of an assistant for a while, kind of around the scene when Jill Ellis was there, especially in this Women's World Cup run in 2019. Took over the club towards the end of that year and has been in charge of that club ever since. They're able to get to the semifinals of the Olympics in 2021 as the big tournament the U.S. has hosted. Of course, they host the She Believes Cup every year. They did a really good job this year, especially in that tournament, as they got wins against Brazil, Canada, and Japan. And automatically, we're seeing Megan Rapinoe warm up on the touchline. And look at this. 100 seconds in, and it looks like Rodman will need the stretcher. Not what she wants to start off her day. Good news for Rodman. She's able to get up on her feet. She's able to work pretty well, too. Rodman will walk off under her own power, which is a good thing for the United States women's national team, adding depth to this roster. Unfortunately for her, for 19th cap for the Stars and Stripes will be cut short within 2 minutes. Or pardon me, I might have spoke. She is going to be on the sideline, so there's been no official change, but she is warming up there. U.S. officially down a player right now. Now they will give a free kick as it was Savannah DeMello who went down. DeMello wearing number 9, Lindsey Horan, I believe, will be wearing number 10 today, yes. And then Andy Sullivan wearing number 17 in the midfield. This one pipped up by Girma. Oh, it's a good chance here for Horan, back post, right towards Morgan, still in the area. Morgan brings it down, shot blocked. Another good chance, and the rebound by Sullivan, who was at the edge of the box, was filtered well off target. So even down a player with Trinity Rodman on the sidelines, able to get something going. Naomi Girma, how about this? Naomi Girma making a center back appearance today with a great ball in towards Horan. And again, just a little bit in the middle. Morgan and Smith both caught up. Or automatically. United States trying to get on the front foot early. Here's Horan going forward. Horan goes down about 30 yards away, and just like that, looks like we're going to have a free kick for the U.S. So automatically United States. And I think, I mean, we talked about it before. I didn't watch this match, but Spain, Costa Rica yesterday. Spain came in as heavy favorites for this matchup, and they only won 3-0. They got 45 shot attempts off in that match. They only won 3-0, which I think is still kind of crazy. Free kick. Free kick. Andy Sullivan to take it for the U.S. Sullivan now clipping this towards the back post. Ertz flicks it on, and it just goes wide. And again, it's just a matter of numbers. We saw the U.S. do this in 2019, where they just utilized set pieces well to their advantage in the moment. And Julie Ertz, again, has played holding midfielder, played center back in her career, playing the right center back position today, according to ESPN, showing out over there. It's fouled there. This time it goes in favor of Vietnam. Let's take a look at that. It was Emily Fox out on the wing and Titui Doom, who was also there. It looks like it will be a free kick towards Vietnam, the Golden Star Warriors. Flipped forward, knocked out by Haran. Picked off, or rather, just trying to get something there from the United States in possession. By the way, Trinity Rodman back on the pitch, so very similar to her father. Very tough, very physical on the ball, and very pertinent in her persistence. That is to go forward, and remain in the match. So out towards Girma. It'll be interesting to see this pairing here for the U.S. And Girma sliding in, Alana Cook with a start in the United States' final tune-up against Wales. Back towards Dunn again. Dunn clipping this forward, little too far. Nonetheless, Horan brings it down. Horan in the middle. Horan just saved. 7th minute, and Lindsey Horan with the first shot on target, dribbling around like she was Diego Maradona over there. And I think they might have called a foul in the build-up. I think they did. Trinity Rodman going through the back of number 13, TDM Mai. But end-to-end action here in Eden Park, Auckland, New Zealand. Once again, a good chance. Horan could have pipped over. Again, either way, the goal wouldn't have counted, but it would have been fun to see it. Live here from Eden Park. Again, if you're tuning in, Eden Park, a very common space in Cincinnati, but Eden Park in Australia, or not Australia, sorry, New Zealand, is one of the largest stadiums in the country. Now towards Dunn. And now Ertz. Ertz hurtling forward. And she'll flip it out towards Haran. The left lays it off towards Dunn. Dunn tries to play it through for Rodman, or pardon me, Sophia Smith. You're going to have Sophia Smith on the left, Rodman on the right, and Alex Morgan kind of playing in between those two as a striker. Again, that could be pretty ambient, rather ambiguous in terms of their play. Rodman loses it out in the end. That's going to be a throw-in for Vietnam. U.S. again was DeMello pushed down, and Savannah DeMello making her first cap today for the Stars and Stripes. Let's try this again. By the way, I'm doing this on both YouTube and my Instagram Live. If you want to watch on Instagram, it is at MJ Sinhasan. Meanwhile, back on the pitch, it looks like there'll be a throw-in for Vietnam. T. Loan to take. So a long touch there, and Fox is just going to come in and sweep it out towards Haran. Out towards Crystal Dunn. Some space to work on the left. She's going to take it here, still dribbling. Was going to cut inside. Nonetheless, play back. Here's Girma, back in U.S. territory. 10th minute of play, 0-0 between United States and Vietnam. That's what picked off. Again, it was a long ball sent in. There's Fox, now to Ertz. U.S. looking to flip the pitch here. Girma, center back with a lot of space there, and she's just going to play it off towards Haran. Haran playing it through towards Dunn on the wing. Dunn, who stayed up, crosses it into the box a little too far there for a running DeMello. Rodman tracks it in the corner, gets it back towards Fox. Fox into the box. Brought down. Haran bustling around. And it's once again picked off by Vietnam. That might be the story of the day, folks, is the bend but don't break philosophy for Vietnam. And if U.S. gets a goal, how many times does Vietnam break in terms of their defense? Stars and Stripes determined to have the most amount of possession, trying to make a statement. Of course, this is the 5th consecutive time they've played a team from Asia. That is the Asian Football Confederation in the Women's World Cup. 2007, 2011 was South Korea. In 2015, it was Australia. And in 2019, it was Thailand. Thailand might be the most resounding victory of all of them as the United States won 13-0. Meanwhile, looks like the ref is going to give a free kick in favor of Vietnam. Lindsay Horan was going down the left-hand side, and looks like the last touch was off of her. 11th minute, still scoreless between the United States and Vietnam. Goal kick now for the Vietnamese, T. Kim Tan to take. Up in the air, last touched. Let's see. I believe it might have been last touched off Vietnam. Thrown for the U.S. Here's Ertz. Ertz knocked off. Throwing. Hard to tell who it was, but I think it was T. Loan. Throwing for Fox in the United States. Morgan, double team there, taking off the ball. Put it away. Back towards Sullivan. She'll play back towards Girma. Out towards Sullivan again. The United States trying to work the ball around. Heavy pressure there by T2 Tao. Almost got the ball back. Nonetheless, the United States try to hurdle forward. Smith playing it through for Dunn. Can Dunn get there on the left? No. A little too far. And Crystal Dunn, known for her speed on the left-hand side, started making kind of usual appearances for the United States in 2015, 2016, mainly after that 2015 Women's World Cup, which was the start of the dynasty, if you will, for the United States. Chance here for Vlatko Andonovski, the head coach of the United States. Again, his predecessor, Jill Ellis, coached them 2 Women's World Cups. Pia Sundhage, before Jill Ellis, got the United States 2 gold medals. And again, a lot of great history with United States women's soccer, even dating back to the 1990s. It was a nifty move there by Tito on, trying to fake out Rodman. Speaking of Rodman, she's got the ball back. One back by Fox, by the way. Rodman down the right-hand side. That one's going to be cleared by T2. Throw-in for the United States. It's Ertz. Girma. Now chance maybe for the United States. Ertz again. Out to Girma again. Girma's still trying to figure out where she may want to go. She goes over towards Haran. Haran playing through towards Morgan. She lays it off here. This could be trouble in the clear, and it's in the net. Goal for the United States of America. And it's the woman who put up a hat trick in the NWSL, Sophia Smith, to make it 1-0 in favor of the 2-time defending champs right here in the 14th minute. And I talked about it earlier. Bend but don't break mentality for Vietnam. Well, they have broken for the first time today. How about this ball, too, by Lindsey Horan and Alex Morgan with a great flick on. And Sophia Smith just buries it in the back of the net. As she's been doing for the Portland Thorns in the NWSL, she did it right there for club and country. So just like that, I did a live react yesterday for Nigeria, Canada. There were no goals in that one. There was actually a penalty kick with a chance. It's hard to tell the numbers, but I believe that was Sophia Smith there. 11 goal in the 14th minute of play. So again, this team back out in the defense, back out in the offense. This team's ready. They talked about it before. Fox Sports did a lot of coverage there. Vlatko Andonovski, he was joking before the match. He was like, you know what? Argentina lost to Saudi Arabia. You know, oh, by the way, Rodman now into the box, and this time it is collected there in the middle. Could have been 2-0. T. Kim Tan this time able to caress it before Morgan and the other barreling bodies for the United States could close in. This one back by DeMello. Cut out there. A crunching tackle there by T. Tao. How about this? Sophia Smith making her debut, one of the 14 U.S. women's national team players playing in their first ever Women's World Cup. This one played towards Morgan. Fox. Deflected by Rodman. No call for a handball. Out for another throw-in. And again, Vlatko Andonovski talked to the press. He told the reporters, and he basically told the soccer world in general, they're not going to take Vietnam to they're not going to take Vietnam for granted. This is a win just like anything else. Meanwhile, Fox hurtling in, not the best cut there. She's able to get it back. Fox trying to play it through a little too far. She was trying to find Morgan towards Haran. Haran goes down, taken back by Vietnam, trying to go on the counter here. Could it be trouble? Still going over there. It's a good run, too. Good run. Beach Toy doing so. Couldn't find New. Beach Toy again trying to tussle, but Haran able to get the ball back for the U.S. Once again, looking at possession so far, is about 17 minutes in, 54% in favor of the United States, 26% in favor of Vietnam, 20% all up in the open. Last four Women's World Cups, the United States has started off with a resounding victory. Most of them actually, all of them decided by multiple goals. How about this? We're going to get a highlight of Sophia Smith. Alex Morgan, the Alex Morgan, might have had the best assist I have seen this year with an absolute just flick of the ball. First time played through, and Sophia Smith does the rest to get it past the Vietnamese goalkeeper. Again, trying to get this name down. T. Kim Tan. Of Girma. Ertz trying to direct traffic. She'll end up giving it back towards Girma. Ertz trying to play through, out with Rodman on the right. Rodman double teamed, barreling towards the end line, crosses it in, deflected, another shot, and this one saved. Savannah DeMello trying to get a second one past Kim Tan, T. Kim Tan, that is. And that too, DeMello trying to get her first ever women's national team goal right there. Only making her second appearance for the Stars and Stripes. And today being her first start playing in the midfield. Rose Lavelle has historically been the starter in that spot, but Vlatko able to give DeMello the start. I'd probably guess just for rest for Rose Lavelle. Haven't heard much of an injury perspective. Nonetheless, Rodman keeps on bullying, plays it off here towards Fox. Fox tried playing it through towards Morgan, but it was cut away. And Sullivan just gives it right back towards Vietnam. Bully ball there by Rodman ends up hurting her. Free kick for the Vietnamese. Or pardon me, that was Sullivan with the cutout. I'll tell you what, the electricity, I mean, I have the volume of the actual live react kind of low, but you can still hear it. Got the U.S. chance, the Vietnam chance, mainly going in favor of the U.S. because of the global following. And hey, United States fans travel well. They did for France. They went across the big pond. They went across the bigger pond to get to Australia and New Zealand for this one. Ball's over here. Trying to tell. I think it's Sullivan. Or pardon me, Smith in the middle. Goal scorer in this one. If you're just looking in. 20 minutes through. It's been a fun one if you're favoring the red, white, and blue. Ertz trying to direct traffic, trying to pip it forward towards Rodman. Shoved in the back. She keeps going. Cross to the middle. Another shot, and it's just deflected. DeMello again in the middle with a chance. Here's Fox. Fox shot deflected. Either way, offside flag went up. Rodman called it there. How about this, though? It seems like everybody's got the Girma's gone up in some dribbles, giving off towards like Crystal Dunn or Sophia Smith. You've had Emily Fox essentially playing as a center midfielder at times, having some great versatility. Savannah DeMello playing, I mean, she's had a more forward role than I've seen Rose Lavelle have, to be honest with you. Although Rose likes to spend more time out on the wing. A beautiful day. Like I said, it was overcast to start. It is becoming a little bit more brighter in Auckland. So Morgan heads it up. Try to flick it on. And takedown from behind. Girma will draw the free kick there. This one culprit, I believe, being TV's Choi. Now they were talking there. TV's Choi has been all over the pitch today. She's had a lot of touches on the ball, Making her 65th appearance, the 29-year-old has scored 13 goals for her country, playing for Ho Chi Minh City in her home country of Vietnam. Ertz back towards Girma. The question for Vlatko, and I think knowing the way he likes to play, is do they stop at one? Do they stop at two? When does the buck stop? I mean, for the United States, usually the buck stops never, but when does this team get comfortable? Meanwhile, Horan trying to dribble through. Morgan with the touch towards the left end line. She's got to circle back towards close towards goal, and that's going to be cut out there once and twice. Ertz and now towards Girma again. Turn here by Smith, deflected twice away from her. Again, the United States continues to press. Sullivan able to poke it away, and she'll actually be called for the foul there. Free kick. Again, that was off Win New, who's the captain for Vietnam. 71 international goals all time. That's the leader in her country. Now it goes around for Vietnam to Truong. Truong, the pass to her fellow center back. Out towards T. Luan. Cut back with DeMello. DeMello dancing. This one cleared. At least T2 tried getting it away. She will earn a throw in for Vietnam. This one cut in chance, and Sophia Smith close to her second. Shot deflected away. It's going to be a corner kick for the United States. First corner kick of the match. Here in the 25th minute, if you're just tuning in, Sophia Smith scored in the 14th to make it 1-0 in favor of the United States. Alex Morgan with a great assist, too, to play the ball through. Maybe a chance for the United States to make it 2-0 here in the 26th. You got Morgan right in front of goal. T. Kim Tan just tries to make sure everything is okay. You also got T2 marking Morgan right in the middle, trying to cause some trouble. Corner kick will be taken by DeMello from the near side of the pitch. Good crowd on tap, most of them in favor of the United States. Will they be cheering here soon? DeMello whipped into the box. Back post, and Morgan couldn't get the best head on it as Rodman sends it back towards Dunn. Out towards Rodman on the left. Rodman dancing there, able to get past one Vietnamese, but it's cleared away there by Tu Tong. So another chance. And again, the United States has played well overall, not too well, you could say, but well enough that they have gotten 1-0. They have gotten a 1-0 lead right now. A throw in, Crystal Dunn to take. Trying to play it through. Smith able to keep it in play. There's to Horan. Sullivan. Out of Ertz on the back end of the midfield circle. Out towards Guillermo on the left-hand side. She motors forward in towards attacking territory. Out towards Horan. Could be trouble here for Vietnam. Sophia Smith out on the wing. Very close to the box. She'll play it back towards Guillermo. Center back motoring high up. Almost playing as a center midfielder. Towards Smith again, trying to play it through for Dunn a little too far. Out on the end line, goal kick. And good representation on both sides. Good representation for the Vietnam fans as well. Vietnam, not too far from Australia and New Zealand, probably could be reached from a nonstop flight from Ho Chi Minh City or somewhere in that country. The United States, of course, with a few direct flights towards Australia, especially Sydney and Melbourne, and New Zealand, especially Auckland, which is where this match is being played. Motored back here by Sullivan. Sullivan trying to play through it for Morgan. She's in the clear. Shot just goes wide. And a good chance, too, by Alex Morgan trying to bag another goal. Looks like there was someone else on the back post. Could have been Rodman, I think. And I think Morgan was just onside. It's another close ruling. Another close chance for the United States to double their lead. Again, I'll give credit. I mean, it's tough. The thing is about this Women's World Cup is because there are 32 teams because of the extension, right? You're going to have more countries from each confederation, or more teams from each confederation. Meanwhile, play through. Here's Morgan in the clear. Shot just grabbed there. T. Kim Tan off her line, just able to smother it as soon as Morgan was making that shot with her right foot. It looks like T. Kim Tan is just calling for assistance. Now it looks like she's okay. Again, I think Alex Morgan might have gotten in. She just avoided the offside trap. Looked like she might have been offside there. Not the best ruling. But again, from what we've seen so far, impressed with what the United States have done. TJ Mai sends it all the way back, and Ertz will collect it in the U.S.'s defensive third. And Julie Ertz, one of the 3 players in the starting roster today, right? One of the 3 players in the starting roster today that have played in 3 World Cups, one of the 2 that is making their 3rd World Cup appearance with the squad. Speaking of Ertz, she's going to lift this well forward for Haran, able to bring it down, but nobody there to meet her. Cleared away, and out towards Smith, who will track back towards Naomi Girma, making her World Cup debut today. Foul called. Smith draws the free kick about 35 yards out. 30th minute, and again, thanks for tuning in on YouTube and or Instagram if you're doing so. I'm Ahirson Hassan. Interesting game so far in the United States, up 1-0 against Vietnam. Alex Morgan with the assist. Sophia Smith with her first ever Women's World Cup goal. Andy Sullivan take it, whips it one well into the box, punched down by T. Kim Tan, and that's it, cleared away. Can the United States regroup? It goes all the way back towards Girma at midfield. Out towards Fox on the wing now. She'll send this back in. Long ball in towards Haran, just punched out, well up in the open. A shot just goes wide. And this time it actually was Lindsay Haran with the shot. Couldn't tell who was the person in the middle trying to head it forward, but nonetheless, another good chance. United States almost playing like they are the defending champs at this rate, toying with Vietnam. It was Julie Ertz with a chance at the header, I should say. Both of them were in blonde. I didn't note Julie Ertz's turquoise headband, which she's been sporting for years now. Goal kick by T. Kim Tan. Off the ball foul, free kick. A lot of them. A lot of chances for the United States. 2 of them on target. Again, so far, so good for the United States. Again, as I mentioned, in terms of the powerhouses of this Women's World Cup who are playing, you had Spain and Costa Rica playing yesterday. That is earlier in the morning. The match started at 12:30 a.m. Pacific time here in the United States. Interesting match. Spain had 45 chances to score. They only won 3-0, surprisingly. And then you have England playing Haiti. That one will be at 2:30 a.m. Pacific time. And then a team that was once a flighting contender to win Women's World Cup back in the 90s and 2000s, China. They faced Denmark. That will be at 5 a.m. Pacific time. I will have a live react for that. Meanwhile, United States back in the attacking third. Sophia Smith out on the wing. Her cross blocked away there by T Tuong and T Tu Lao, who were in the middle, or rather close to it. 32nd, or rather 33rd minute now, and a throw in. Down towards Morgan, who's in the box, flicked on, chested down by Smith. Smith tried getting it on goal and ended up going high. She was calling for a deflection, but the Fort Collins native will not get it. Ertz or another header. I think it was Horan doing the honors there. It goes all the way back towards T Kim Tan, who's probably going to be the one Vietnamese player I mentioned the most in goal today. Tran T Kim Tan, making her 49th appearance for the club, playing with Ho Chi Minh City, one of the three goalkeepers. The other one's there, Dao Ki Chu On, who has not made an appearance, and also there is going to be another Chan, or rather, I should say, Kwong Ti Tan. Back to the game we go. Out on the end line, 34th minute. And again, Sophia Smith has become a menace. Scored in the 14th minute off an Alex Morgan through ball, I should say. Sorry for the stammer. Maybe another chance for the United States women. Looked like from the replay, it was last touched off TDMI. Corner kick for the United States, this time from the far side of the pitch. We've seen DeMello take a few. Andy Sullivan as well has been pretty common. This one whipped in by Sullivan, a little too far, a header, and it's still in the area, and now it is cleared away. Julie Ertz, who I believe got the chance, is down in the box for the United States. Play continues. DeMello down to Haran, and now will be cleared out by Vietnam. Cleared out by Girma. Now maybe a chance to check on the center back, and it looks like she is back up on her feet. That's a good sign for the United States, who's already essentially down two starters going into this Women's World Cup. Becky Sauerbrunn, the captain, was out, and then Mal Swanson, who started off 2023 by scoring in 5 consecutive, ended up losing it. And it just looked like it took a double bounce off of Ertz. 35th minute, crazy game again. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are on Instagram Live and on YouTube. And looks like there'll be a little bit of a hydration break. I don't know if they're doing any treatment with Ertz or this is an officially issued hydration break. Nonetheless, a chance for both sides to catch their breath. It's about 60 degrees in Auckland, nowhere close to where it is in Phoenix, where it has been in the 110s for the past 2 weeks or so. Finished by Sophia Smith. The difference right now went right through the legs of the Vietnamese goalkeeper, that being T Kim Tan. Again, I mentioned it before, I'll say it again, bend but don't break type of philosophy. You figure, though, like with the new changes, I mean, I look back at 2019 roster for the United States women. You had Megan Rapinoe on the left. Rapinoe, by the way, is on the bench for this game. Speaking of veterans, Julie Ertz on the sideline. She'll get some treatment. Looked like a contact of hers fell out. And Vlatko Andonovski just making sure that everything is okay with his center back. So far, so good. Back with Vietnam, T Tuong with a chance. T Tu Lao now with Win New. Not the best pass there, trying to go on the left. Nonetheless, the recipient of that able to track back, that being T Loan. Ertz, out of Fox. Girma, track back, and Nair with her first official touch of the day. Just a boot forward, all the way towards Smith. Smith double, triple teamed, and eventually held free kick for the United States. And how about this? How about these moves overall there? Win New, captain of this Vietnamese team, as I mentioned earlier, most goals for the country. United States back, and it's Emily Fox on the ball. Back towards Ertz. Passes completed for both sides as we see it up here. United States at 129. Vietnam with 59. Ertz trying to play through towards Morgan. Now towards Fox. Taken off the ball there by T. Luan. Chance there. Good track back by Fox to get it back. Girma. Girma just going to hold on to the ball there. Fox. Ertz. Girma back towards midfield. So between the two center backs, now pushed forward for Haran. Out towards Smith on the left. Smith, right-footed cross in, a little too high for Morgan. And caught there by T. Kim Tan. Once again, booted forward there by the Vietnamese netminder. Picked off right back by Crystal Dunn. And note that Crystal Dunn, although playing left back, has been kind of going back and forth in her ways between the two. Ertz now towards Fox. Fox now towards Rodman on the right. Rodman crosses in, can't find Morgan. Morgan trying to bring it down. Morgan dancing on the ball. Morgan lays it off towards Rodman for take two. Edge of the box. Now inside the box, she goes down. Ref gives no call, no whistle. Again, maybe a chance T. Luan just gets away with something. From what it seemed like, let's take a look at this. Rodman was close to probably getting the ball. I think had she gotten the touch right, she could have. But it seemed pretty soft. But at the same time, there was a similar call yesterday in Nigeria, Canada, where Christine Sinclair was taken down in the box, almost at that physicality level, and they actually gave a penalty for it. And no official ruling from the referee. Now it looks like there will be a check for a penalty. I should probably pull up the referee's name if I can find it. ESPN does a pretty decent job in finding this kind of stuff. Other times, it's sometimes goes to the wayward. Bushra Karboubi. Yeah, nonetheless, there is a VAR check. This is what happened yesterday in Melbourne between Nigeria and Canada. 40 minutes through, and there'll be a penalty check. So as I said, maybe a chance for the United States here. I've been calling it a lot ever since Sophia Smith scored in the 14th minute of maybe United States getting a chance at the penalty. And again, chance for Bushra Karboubi to get a good look at that. It's like Rodman. I think the question is, and I think now we're taking a look at the replay, it was what T. Luan, the left back for Vietnam, did to Rodman's left leg, not her right, which was dribbling the ball, but her left leg, which caused Rodman to go down. Definitely a little off contact, but as I said earlier, it almost seems like a little bit of a level where it's like if you give Sinclair that penalty yesterday, you have to give Rodman the penalty today. And good chance there. Again, you had Rodman getting tripped up for left foot. Again, it depends on where the contact took place, but what it seems like, there is a valid call for a penalty here. The question is, though, is did Rodman step on T. Luan's leg rather than the opposite? That might be the case here. In that case, then there's really no call for a penalty, and there's no real essence of tripping if that's the case. Now, if it's the other way around, where it was T. Luan there, maybe you have a chance. Here we go. Bushra Karbubi is out of the VAR booth, back out on the touchline. What's the verdict? Penalty kick US. Tripping will be called by T. Luan and Trinity Rodman. Known for playing physical. I mean, her dad did it best when he played in the NBA. With a chance, whoever takes this. Now, Megan Rapinoe has been known for taking some penalty kicks here and there. Alex Morgan has also had a history of doing so. In terms of the United States women's players who have done quite a few of it, Lindsey Horan also took a penalty kick earlier this year. This time, Alex Morgan will be in the penalty spot. Once again, another tough test for T. Kim Tan. Alex Morgan with already one assist on the day, probably the best assist we've seen. She's taken two penalties, one to the left, one to the right. That is Morgan in terms of her shot. 44th minute of play from Eden Park in Auckland. Morgan going up against T. Kim Tan. Whistle blows. Morgan, 12 yards away. Short run up, takes a shot, safe there. Rebound is back, and that is wide. And every penalty kick I've seen, or pardon me, not every penalty kick, but many have been saved. And the rebound again with Alex Morgan has gone wide, and worse for the United States. She is down on the pitch. Morgan went to the left, rather her left, and T. Kim Tan went to her right, guessing correctly. And again, there was a chance for a tap in too. That's the other thing. Pretty quick ball back, but Morgan tripped up there in the process after kicking it forward by TDMI. Again, I don't think that would lead to another penalty for the U.S. But that could be an interesting take should it happen. 45th minute, and the United States still up 1-0. Alex Morgan getting her penalty shot saved by was right now. I mean, save for that one Sophia Smith goal is the hero for Vietnam and probably this match, T. Kim Tan. Morgan's getting some treatment again. Some rough moments, nervy moments happened in the first few as Trinity Rodman went down. There was actually calls for her to be stretched off, but she was able to walk off under her own power. She is still in the match as we get to 45. Morgan does the same. No stretcher needed to be called out for her. But nonetheless, United States down a forward as we enter first half stoppage time. Again, a quick back and forth type of day. 5 minutes of stoppage time. Already a lot of penalty kicks, too. There was one in Switzerland, Philippines, New Zealand, Norway, Nigeria, Canada. So far, I mean, actually seems like you're living in a simulation. Actually, stoppage time has now been 8 minutes. 8 minutes, not 5 minutes that was originally noted. Nonetheless, Rodman chests it down out towards DeMello. Ertz. Rodman lost it again. Little whistle called. Again, very similar to their neighbors up north. The United States got a penalty off a VAR check, but after that, it seemed a little off here and there. 1 minute through here. As I mentioned before, this is the second, or rather the first live react we'll be doing. Meanwhile, this ball is played into the United States box. Ertz cleared it away. Forward and out on the touchline, throw in for Vietnam. This one picked off by Smith. Another Horan tried to play it back to Smith. She's got it on the left. Smith still hurtling down. Now she'll slow her pace. Nonetheless, still going in the middle. Her cross blocked away there by T2 Tao. Still bouncing around. Sullivan just plays it back, and it looks like she will draw the foul and a free kick. 2 minutes through stoppage time, 6 to go, around 6. That is, we can never know when the halftime whistle will actually blow. Nonetheless, a good chance. Andy Sullivan to take the free kick here. Sullivan clipping this one high into the box, a little too far for a running Ertz. Dunn picks it up, and Fox is actually going to track back here. I think she was going for the pass back to goalkeeper Alyssa Nair, and then she had to motor forward. Nonetheless, she gets a deflection after she was able to turn and cut towards goal, throwing for the United States. Or part of me, it's going to be the opposite, throwing towards Vietnam. They're throwing for Vietnam down the left-hand side for them. As I mentioned, they're one of the 8 countries making their Women's World Cup debut. A lot of them will be coming up soon. Some of them have already played. It was Philippines. They lost 2-0 in their debut to Switzerland. You have Zambia playing Japan. And Zambia is another team that's been kind of up and coming over the past few years, much like Vietnam. Speaking of up and coming, United States on the counter. Here's Smith into the box, deflected, and it just goes wide. Could have ended out in an own goal there, as Smith was trying to cross it, center into the middle. Horan and many others were there. Despite not getting 2-0 off the Alex Morgan penalty kick, still another chance. This one clipped into the middle, crossed up, wide open for Horan, who brings it down. Morgan back heel. It is clipped away, though, by Vietnam, and now eventually cleared. Now whistle will blow out towards Vietnam, going in their favor at the very least. But again, Alex Morgan, Lindsey Horan as well, able to bring the ball down. And again, Alex Morgan with a nifty back heel. Again, Trinity Rodman in the area to try to steer it on. Mai Chung trying to ready his troops. Done a good job. The Golden Star Warriors only down 1-0 in what is their first ever Women's World Cup match. About 3 minutes to go in stoppage time. Done. Girma now back to base with Alyssa Nair. Ertz back towards Girma. Long ball forward by the center back. That's one's cut out before Morgan could get ahead to it. Fox tried to go out wide towards DeMello. Ends back towards Vietnam. Sullivan. DeMello. Now to Fox. Maybe another chance. Fox trying to play through for Lindsey Horan, who was going up. That one's clipped out there by T-Dem Mai on the end line for United States corner kick. Maybe a chance for the United States to make it 2-0 and double their lead. Sullivan. Fox back towards Sullivan. Girma. Wide open back post, punched away. Wide open goal. It's going through, and it's in the net. Sophia Smith, right on the edge of the box, just clips it through, but it's going to be offside. It was a smart move, though, by Sophia Smith. 15 yards out. And again, splitting the legs of T. Kim Tan. Well, if there's a woman of the match so far, it has to be her. And again, Naomi Girma with a great ball in. I don't think they're calling offside on her. They might be calling offside off a head. From what it seems like, nobody got a touch to it. That's the thing, though. Nobody got a touch. It was Ertz and Morgan who were closer towards T. Kim Tan. Players were there in their respective decisions. This may be an interesting VAR check. It's tough from what it seems like. From what it looks like on the original Guillermo ball, nobody's offside, or at least nobody who touched the ball was offside. From what it looks like from my angle, it looked like Sophia Smith put it in the back of the net. Once again, it all goes down to the referee at this point, and again, credit to Buba Karbubi for the work she's done. There's been no indication. She doesn't even have the right hand of hers to the earpiece. I think they might be checking whether or not they need to go to the monitor. I don't think she would go to the monitor at this rate. If she does get any touch, if she gets any touch, rather, if she checks it, it would just be an on the spot location. That's where your VAR staff really comes into play for the U.S. Well, she's made a ruling. Well, she was going to make a ruling. The whistle towards her mouth. Now here we go. And it's in the net. Goal USA. Sophia Smith with a brace. Just right before halftime, United States starting to extend their lead. How about this too? Guillermo with a great ball into the box unto itself, and it's punched away. And yeah, nobody for the United States was offside. It was actually TDMI who kept them on. Actually, all of them on, Ertz and Morgan included. And even if they were offside, neither of them got a touch to it. That was all Sophia Smith. Once again, splitting the legs of TDMI. It is not a good day to be the feet of those two goalkeepers. Sophia Smith will be in her nightmares for quite a while, it seems like, at least up until the next match. Will be against Portugal. There's Girma. Now there was a big stoppage here, so I would expect maybe 1 or 2 more minutes that are added on specifically for this. Nonetheless, Vietnam with a chance. This one played through a chance here as New tries to get towards the box and it's cut out there by Girma. Played back towards Nair, who boots it out. Rodman. Now looks like the refs have updated to 10 minutes of stoppage time. So we started at 5, and it was up to 8, and now to 10. Nonetheless, the United States still enjoy their position and power right now. Sophia Smith, how about that? In stoppage time, I believe it was it was officially given in the 8th minute, so I'm going to call it maybe the 7th. Meanwhile, a chance here for Morgan in the box, and this time it was T. Kim Tan to save it, or rather corral it. But Sophia Smith, Tobin Heath's replacement from 2019, doing quite well in Auckland in her first ever Women's World Cup match. The United States up 2-0 against debutantes Vietnam. I'll take a quick break, 10-15 minutes, and I'll be back for the second half right after this. Stay tuned. Whether you're watching it on YouTube or Instagram, you're tuning in to my live reacts, Mahirson Hassan's live reacts of the 2023 Women's World Cup. Back underway at Eden Park in Auckland, United States up 2-0 against Vietnam as we have started the second half. And just like that, another chance for the United States and Sophia Smith. Once again, just overall, just going through it. Oof. It's been that kind of day for the United States. It's been that kind of day for Sophia Smith. Any chance she can get, she's going towards the pitch automatically. Get the Instagram live feed up here again. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube and or Instagram today. It's been an interesting one, and Sophia Smith, who just had the chance for the United States, scored the first two goals in the first half. Was one in the 14th minute and one in stoppage time, which was originally ruled offside, and then only to find out that nobody was offside. And actually, Smith took the shot from distance, and it did not take a deflection on the way in. There's Andy Sullivan. From what it seems like, no change at the half. Again, I can look at ESPN to try to find it. It looks like no changes. Get Instagram back up here. Almost missed another chance. Their third goal. Trying to get a good call. Again, Sophia Smith, the Portland Thorns player, got a hat trick about a week or two before the Women's World Cup, and a lot of players, a lot of broadcasters, including Matt Watring, who's pretty popular on Instagram and on TikTok, he was saying that wait till Sophia Smith gets to the world stage. We can't wait to see what she does at that place at that time as well. So from what it seems like, nobody that is again I can check it, but from what it seems like, nobody's there. Nonetheless, United States going forward, and Lindsey Horan's cross was caught there off the hand of Tu Chuang. Handball will be called. Free kick for the U.S. They're wasting no time trying to get back at this. I'll tell you that, and that's kudos to the United States and all that they do. Once again, it will be Savannah DeMello to take the free kick in her first ever start for the Stars and Stripes. She did have one cap before this, second appearance for the United States. She stands close towards the left corner flag, not quite, but it will be that kind of angle for this free kick. Whipped into the box, header just goes wide. And again, Julie Ertz, who has been at almost the receiving end at almost every attacking option today from a set piece, almost makes it 3-0. Powerful header, just couldn't steer it on frame. Now, a goal kick for the Vietnamese goalkeeper, Tran Thi Kim Tan, making her 49th appearance for the Golden Star Warriors. Back towards Alyssa Nair in United States goal. Ertz cut out there, and again a quick run down the left there. Tuet Dung. This one's crossed into the middle, by the way, and Sullivan able to chest it down in the box and clear it out. Throwing for Vietnam. I will credit the United States. They've played well. They've played on the ball too. And I think especially on the defensive side, especially for Vietnam, I know a lot of people have said that 2-0 is sometimes the worst lead to have in soccer because you think you're in the clear, but you're really not. Meanwhile, Sophia Smith on the ball. She's going to keep it herself. Still dribbling through. That one's cleared away there. TDM Moy, who's playing the official center back role. Three center backs essentially, but she's playing the center of that. She goes forward. Nonetheless, Rodman on the edge. Clips it up to the middle. Horan just goes wide. She had a good wide open chance to volley it and just is unable to put it on target. She knows it as well. And Trinity Rodman with the service on the right just goes wide. 50 minutes and the United States still only up by 2 on Vietnam. And the question is, especially with no changes, what does Vlatko Andonovski do? Rodman? Oh, nifty move to get away. What does this lead to? DeMello into the box, a little too far for Smith. Horan collects on the back post. To the box again. Now towards the Dunn. Kind of on the far side of it, if you will. Girma. And now to Ertz. Ertz crossed in high into the box, punched away only as far. No, pardon me. Still up there, though. Morgan's going to head it back, and it goes on target. Injured Vietnamese in the box. Good news for me. Just got an update that the Reds have won. Seems like it. Last time I had up 9-6. I believe, meanwhile, back to what's happening in Auckland. Alex Morgan might have been her call for the foul. Yes. Once again, TDM might. Was in the middle, was going forward, and she's going to get some treatment over here. And as I mentioned before, Eden Park in Auckland is our setting for today. Hosted the second, or rather, this is the second Women's World Cup match they have hosted. It has been interesting so far. They hosted the opener with New Zealand and Norway. More than 42,000 people inside the stadium, making it the most watched soccer match in New Zealand history, on New Zealand ground in that manner, too. So overall, a good sign. Thanks for tuning in wherever you are, or wherever platform you are, too. We're doing this on YouTube and Instagram today. Has been throughout. I don't know if I'll do it tomorrow on Instagram because the live react will be at 5 a.m. in the morning here in Phoenix, which will be 8 a.m. on the East Coast, which is not too bad. 8 a.m.'s not too bad. Nonetheless, Horan getting the ball back close to the attacking third. Very errant loose passes from Vietnam. Almost gifting the United States the possessions here. Girma. Ertz and Horan towards midfield now for the United States. Flipped up. And Melo tried to turn on the ball, was ended up clipped away by Tupong, it seemed like. There's Megan Rapinoe warming up on the sideline. She shows she'll be in her 200th appearance for her country today. Meanwhile, another collision, and it looks like TDMI is down again. TDMI is down. There's another one. It looks like there might have been a collision between the two. It was hard to tell from there. TDMI, the other was 23, TV Toy. So it looked like both of them collided there in the middle. TV's Toy was the one tracking on DeMello. Corner kick now, 54th minute. DeMello, in swinger into the box, headed up and away. And again, Morgan hurdling on the back post. Seems like she has changed from the long sleeve shirt to the short sleeve for the second half. Ertz with a nifty turn there, showing off her midfielder skills despite playing center back today. Looked like there might have been a handball, and indeed there was. Called on T2 Tao. Make sure everybody's okay. How about this? Julie Ertz, not just turning on the ball going forward, doing it with her left foot, which is her least dominant one. Or rather, her less dominant, to be honest with you. There's 2 feet, but nonetheless, you live and learn. Right? That's why I do this. A lot of numbers in the box. Sophia Smith, Lindsay Horan included. Another free kick take for Savannah DeMello. There you go. Sophia Smith. 2 goals. Could she get a hat trick today in her Women's World Cup debut? DeMello into the Mox, back post, punched up and away, and actually out on the end line for a corner kick. I've been saying up and away a lot too, so mental note for myself for the next broadcast. I do. Another corner. United States has had many chances here. I don't know how much, how big this win would impact them, but it would still be big. Sullivan into the box, and again, another swat away there. Ertz recollects on the back post, headed up, and just able to catch it there off the initial touch is T. Kim Tan again. Alex Morgan again in the middle, playing your number 9 spot today. He's had a lot of great opportunities to get it. She did have a penalty kick in the 40th minute, or close to around 40 minutes, but it was saved by the Vietnamese goalkeeper. Again, as I mentioned before, Spain beat Costa Rica 3-0. Switzerland beat another debutante, Philippines, 2-0. Got Zambia against 2011 champions Japan. That's coming up at midnight Pacific time. So around afternoon, evening. Looks like a yellow card has been given to Lindsey Horan. That's the first yellow card of the day. Let's take a look at this. I don't think Horan did much in the ball. It was just maybe some of it was acting, maybe it was actual pain. Nonetheless, Lindsey Horan becomes the first player to head into the book today. Flipped up, headed away there. And Horan able to redeem herself there from a defensive standpoint. Back towards Vietnam. Flipped up, back towards the United States. Here's Horan now. Horan trying to play it through for Smith. Morgan also making a run. Or rather, it's Rodman. Rodman able to stay with it. It was last deflected off of her. It would be a Vietnam throw. But nonetheless, the United States, it seems like every time the U.S. are on the defense, especially when Vietnam plays in their own half, the Americans are right back at it. They're trying to go forward. They're trying to find the space, and they're hungry for that third goal. And they've made it clear for everybody in the stands. Smith cut out there. T. Lin playing the right midfielder position today. Done. Up towards Morgan. So clipped into the middle. Rodman brings it down. Smith didn't get much of a touch there. So cut away. Back towards the United States. Still with the red, white, and blue. Back towards Girma. Woman down for Vietnam. That's TV's Choi. Going down, free kick for the U.S. And again, TV's Choi, who is still down on the pitch, will get some treatment. Collided with DeMello. And we'll see some changes. First time today, we head to the bench. First up for Vietnam. Coming on will be number 3, Shuang TQ. She'll replace Shuang TQ being one of them. The other one will be number 12, Pham Hai Yen. Maybe TV's Joy Tui. No changes yet. So those two I mentioned for Vietnam have not come on the pitch. Free kick for the United States, by the way, is going to be about 35 yards out. And once again, it's been DeMello and Sullivan with some solid service today. Again, Megan Rapinoe, one of the best in the business. She may be coming in later in this one. Nonetheless, United States, 60th minute of play. Sullivan lining this up. 35 yards out, one-man wall, swung into the box. Horan heads it up, and that's caught again. Another good chance, but Tim Kim Tan, comes through. Back towards Sullivan, out towards Emily Fox now. And Rodman, who receives the ball, will be called offside. Again, 60th minute, pretty good. Pretty good day so far. Sophia Smith with a goal in the 14th minute. And then another in the 45th minute. Actually, 45th minute plus deep in stoppage time was originally called offside. It was given. We have a chance for Sophia Smith to get a hat trick, for all you know. Never know. It's been a while since we've seen a hat trick at the Women's World Cup. Of course, the last time it happened for the United States. There's been a lot of great players, if you will, that have achieved that hat trick. The most notable one, Carly Lloyd, in the Women's World Cup final in 2015. It was a 5-2 win for the United States over Japan. So now we'll see the changes, and it will be Tu Chuang coming out, and also coming out will be Tivish Toy. So Chuang will come in. So you saw the two changes, 12 and 13. So Pham Hayen will check in the center midfielder spot, and it's Chuang TQ. Looks like we'll have one more change. Tivish Troy coming off. She'll get a round of applause from the Vietnamese fans and a rallying cry as well to her fellow teammates. So she will come off. And coming on for her, we number 22, Win Timi An. So 3 changes for Vietnam in this window. Also have Ngan Thi Van Su coming in for Chuat Dong. And we'll have 2 substitutions for the United States as well. Alex Morgan and Savannah DeMello heading off, and 2 substitutions, much to the avail of the United States supporters. Rose Lavelle will check in for DeMello, who is making her first ever U.S. start today. Going to start for her. And coming in up top, Megan Rapinoe. So I would expect now Rodman will probably stay on the right. Smith will probably move to the striker position, kind of beneficial for her, known for playing in the center herself with the Portland Thorns. Rapinoe will probably go to her signature left spot, and that's what it seems like will happen here in the 63rd minute. So a lot of changes on both sides. I believe it's now maybe 3 or 4 for Vietnam, and now 2 for the United States. So both teams starting to go to their benches. And again, 2 great starts. And now to mention, Megan Rapinoe now has 200 appearances with the United States women's national team. You heard that right, folks. Quite impressive if you think about it. Rapinoe will take the throw here for the United States out towards Dunn. Of course, those two had a great tandem in 2019, back when Rapinoe was starting. Again, it's unclear whether or not Rapinoe could start the big game for her and the United States in general against Netherlands, but she is the oldest player on the squad, being 38 years old. If it's not for Onome Abi and Christine Sinclair of Nigeria and Canada, respectfully, she might be the oldest player playing in this Women's World Cup. Throwing now. So it'll be T2 Tau taking it. I'm trying to get an update on what ESPN counted. Nonetheless, out towards Sophia Smith on the left. They want to keep on going here in the United States. Try to make it 3-0 potentially. You think about it too, also keep a defense. I mentioned this earlier, but every year since 2011, the United States have started off their World Cup campaign with a multi-goal win. That is the women's team, not the men's team. Nonetheless, out towards Lavelle on the left, or pardon me, Sullivan. Sullivan sends it in a little too high for Lavelle, who is inside the box. Crystal Dunn can't get to it. Throw in. So it wasn't Lavelle. It actually wasn't Sullivan either. It was Emily Fox. Take it for the right. She is still out there. DeMello is now out. Lavelle is still, and Sullivan still playing that number 6 spot. It's been held by a lot of players over the years. Of course, Lauren Holiday got a few chances along with a lot of players. Let's be honest. They got a chance there for Holiday. Julie Ertz played that in 2019. A lot of interesting people. A lot of interesting people in the world of women's soccer. Again, thanks for tuning in, whether that be on YouTube or Instagram today. And this is my first live react in about 12, 13 hours or so. We're going to wrap up around 7. None of the games in the middle of the night, but we will be doing it Denmark and China bright and early tomorrow morning, 5 a.m. on the West Coast. Nonetheless, out towards Fox. Fox still dancing. Lavelle's going to take control. Out towards Rodman. Rodman lifts it into the box. Pot away. Out towards Rapinoe. Tried chipping the goalkeeper. Nonetheless, a chance down the box. A shot just goes over. And it was Emily Fox, the right back, who had a chance, an absolute good chance, too, to make it 3-0. 66 minute. The United States knocking on the door to put this one in the coffin. And again, Lindsay Horan, too, playing midfielder. I mean, Megan Rapinoe, credit the effort to her, just can't get credit for it. And again, Emily Fox, it was a nifty move on the ball, but could not square it in time. Again, right back from listed as a defender on the sheet. That would have been her second goal had she scored it. Second goal, and that's not just her second goal in playing her 30th appearance for her country today. TDMI. T2 Chow. Line into the middle. We've got Winu, the captain. Not the best touches, since once again sent towards the box. Yerma heads it away for the United States. Rodman can't control it as it's sent back there. Maybe a chance, and that's one's just flipped away. Ertz almost doing a bicycle kick out towards the sideline. Yerma lofted forward and out towards Lavelle now. Lavelle tap it off towards Rodman. Playing a little farther back and let Sophia Smith play that number 9 role with Alex Morgan out. That to Smith on a hat trick. Maybe with a chance. Maybe a chance. Maybe a chance for the United States to do something. For all you know, you never know what we can expect here at the 2023 Women's World Cup. How about this, too? 3 penalty kicks that have been taken. At least we have seen 3. And there have been more, but 3 in general. All 3 of them have been saved. Was, or rather, at the very least, missed. Was Percival for New Zealand in the opening match against Norway. She had hers go off the right post. Christine Sinclair had a chance, and then Alex Morgan today had a chance to make it 2-0. Was saved there by T. Kim Tan. There's my sheet. This is my Vietnam roster, if you're wondering. There's YouTube, there's Instagram. But anyhow, a lot of interesting ones. After Denmark, China, we'll have Italy, Argentina. That'll be late Sunday night. If you're on the East Coast, that will be Monday morning at 2 a.m. And then Tuesday will be Colombia against South Korea. Final match of match day 1 before we move to match day 2. That one, the ball played forward, clips off of, rather blocked by Rapinoe, will be a throw-in. Back towards Girma. She'll settle. Hurts. Sullivan. She started to play farther back. Honestly, almost that right back spot. Emily Fox has gone farther. And Rose Lavelle has kind of been somewhere in the mix between those two. Out to Girma again. Some room to motor forward as we're now in the 70th minute, about 20 minutes plus stoppage time left. United States trying to make it 3-0 on Vietnam, for all you know. Rapinoe plays it into the middle. Sullivan will play back towards her center back, Girma. Naomi Girma, what a story for her. As the Stanford graduate plays it through. A little nifty move. Rodman, not the best first touch as it's cleared away. Sent forward. Ertz heads up. Chances continue. Emily Fox. Oh, how about this? She's got past 2. Really opened up the space. Trying to play out on the right for Rodman. It goes behind Dennis Rodman's daughter, and that will be a throw-in. That's Rodman, or not Dennis Rodman, Trinity Rodman. Trinity Rodman, the highest paid player in NWSL history. How about that? Only 21 years old as well. It's great to see the crowd on tap. Already a great sign. I mean, that was one concern I had, calling the game at Melbourne Rectangular Stadium. I said, here's the thing. We saw the co-host. We saw New Zealand. We saw Australia. I want to see what the rest of the crowd looks like, especially knowing that, well, for most people, to get to Australia and New Zealand, it's quite a trek, especially in terms of flying. Nonetheless, Rose Lavelle into the box. Lavelle going end line, cross into the middle. Rapinoe can't put it. Wide open chance, and again, the OL Reign player with another great chance to make it 3-0. This one more blatant. All she had to do was really tap it in. How about this, Rose Lavelle, the Cincinnati kid, just much like myself. It's a good ball. It's just, yeah. And Rapinoe's disappointed with herself. I think that's the other thing too. It's just trying to remain in that state of mind. Meanwhile, Sophia Smith, she's been in a great state of mind today. She lost the ball over there. Out on the wing now. Fun. Might have been Fun. Let me check. The number 21. I'm sorry, Ngan Tivon Su. Tivon Su. Out over there. Might be a chance we see Alyssa Thompson. We talked about Megan Rapinoe, the oldest player on this Women's World Cup roster. How about the youngest player? That's Alyssa Thompson on the bench. She may be making an appearance as well. Here's Horan. Pushed down in the middle. No foul called. She retains possession of the ball. Still fighting. And pass can't go outside. It still goes around towards Rodman. And now foul will be called presumably for handball on Trinity. Again, a lot of chances for the United States today. And I think when you look back at it, you look at how these teams are doing. Of course, United States number 1 in the world, Vietnam number 32. I think there's a lot of different points you can make out of this. Say, how did this team do overall, right? How's the totem pole? In my opinion, the totem pole is kind of a little wackadoodle right now because Norway, big favorite against New Zealand, did not get a point. Did not get a point, not even a result, let alone losing that. Canada did not get full points against Nigeria. So it's been a very interesting Women's World Cup. And I think for the sport in general, I love it. In terms of a fan, you're not going to get those 10-0 results you see a lot of times. So it's a good sign for the growth of the women's game. Meanwhile, chance here for Vietnam. Hard to tell the number. Nonetheless, crosses in. Nobody is in the box for Vietnam as it goes right towards Alyssa Nair. Nair's calling for the team to go quick as it's back towards Horan. Horan will be able to just track it back here and give it back towards Girma. Girma back at the center, now towards Ertz. 74th minute of play, 2-0 between the United States and Vietnam. Sophia Smith with both of the goals, both of them coming in the first half. Crystal Dunn on the left, now to Rapinoe. Back towards Dunn. Play middle here for Sullivan. Sullivan playing through. Sophia Smith tried keeping it in play. It will be a little too long, though, as it's out for a goal kick. And we'll see another change here. Alyssa Thompson coming in. So now you will see in the front line Megan Rapinoe, who was born in 1985, and Alyssa Thompson on the other side, who will actually be replacing Trinity Rodman, who has been playing on the right side of the pitch today. The youngest player on the United States women's national team roster was born in November of 2004. The craziest part about that, it was a great story when she was with Angel City FC, her club team, earlier this year. She had a match at Bank of California Stadium, formerly known as Bank of California Stadium, now known as BMO Stadium. Very interesting overall in the sense that she was subbed off at around the 60th minute, not for any injury or coaching decisions, but because she had her prom. Her high school prom was that night, and she had to rush over to the venue. Oh, not only that, but her entire Angel City lineup basically for pregame outfits dressed up in prom dresses, which I think is really cool. We'll also have a change for Vietnam, as the one player for the team that does not play in the home country, that being their captain. It was done quite a well job today. Not too many touches on the ball. Quinn New will head out, and we will now see another great striker coming in, Pham Hai Yen. It seemed like she might have come earlier, but who knows? Run for the United States. 76th minute of play. Again, thanks for tuning in on YouTube and Instagram. That will be the same tomorrow. Well, YouTube for sure, Instagram potentially. For an early morning call here for me on the West Coast, 5 a.m. in the morning. 5 a.m. in the morning. That's going to be 8 a.m. if you're on the East Coast, so a little bit more manageable for you. Excuse me. Nonetheless, whatever happens here, you have to give credit to what the United States have done, both in and out of this match. They've possessed the ball well. They've had some chances. Granted, they could have finished more, especially Rapinoe, with two great chances since coming. Well, one was trying to chip over everybody else. The other one was pretty blatant. It was a tap-in that was missed as the volley was shot over. Meanwhile, big break for Smith. She plays it back. Horan, empty net. Horan, and it's in the net. Goal for the United States of America. And Lindsey Horan, who has been hurtling in the box all day, shows the crest, shows the 3 stars, and United States are up 3-0 against Vietnam, well on their way to 3 points. How about that win back by Sophia Smith, though? As Vlatko talks over towards Guillermo Ertz, his center backs. Sophia Smith, take a bow. 2 goals and an assist on the day. In her debut, this Barbie is dropping an absolute performance. How about this? Hurtling into the box, taking it back, and that too running behind the center back, that being, I think it was actually a new replacement for them, one of the substitutes, Chuang Ki 2. And the United States are up 3-0. Lindsey Horan, who's once again been in the moment right there, right now, in her 130th appearance, gets her 28th goal. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. So 3-0 United States leads. That was a big marker on spread was a little bit higher. I think it was around 4.5, 3.5 or 4.5. Maybe a little higher, more like 5.5, somewhere in that range. But nonetheless, the United States getting their work done, as you can tell. And some of it was just been unfortunate. Speaking of unfortunate, it's like a little slip there by Alyssa Thompson, who was just checked in. She checked in for Trinity Rodman, daughter of former NBA player Dennis Rodman, highest paid player in NWSL. And again, Lindsey Horan doing what she does best: control the midfield, control up, especially knowing you don't have Ertz in the middle, you don't have Lavelle, which I still think best midfield the United States has put out. That was in 2019, by the way. Megan Rapinoe, speaking of people who are pretty good at passing, well, far out. She's going to take this direct. This one will be wide. That one was about 35 yards out, too. That would have been an absolute shrimp in the Barbie. Although I don't know how shrimp in the Barbies work in New Zealand. I know Australia, they love it. New Zealand, I don't know. They might be different. But I got to say, for Vietnam, they've put up a good fight, especially from the defensive standpoint, knowing that they've had the least amount of possession for this one. Just taking a look at the stats, if I can. Again, all U.S., 65% for the Stars and Stripes, 24 shots, 6 of them on goal. Sophia Smith down the left-hand side loses it there. Looks like it might be a goal kick. It's hard to tell from that angle. It will be a corner, rather. Megan Rapinoe in the 80th minute. What can she do? And Megan Rapinoe's put up a lot of appearances throughout the years. She's well known for her services from that corner flag, especially the left one, where she is right now. Rose Lavelle nearest to the goalkeeper. Rapinoe, low and swinger into the box, flicked on, and Ertz cannot direct it towards on target. Again, a lot of big moments. Rapinoe was staying in the corner flag, thinking that there was going to be another corner kick. And I think there is. So take two for the United States. Up 3-0 against Vietnam. A chance there for number 11, Sophie Smith. Got 2 goals and assists today on a hat trick in that regards. Rapinoe. This one clipped towards the back post with a higher arc. This one headed away. Emily Fox will gather on the back post. Out towards Girma. Back towards midfield. Girma sends it back into the box. Horan. As it headed away. Back towards Girma. She'll take this back towards United States territory and recollect there. Done. And Horan now to Rapinoe. Rapinoe. Is she trying to chip there? Either way, it goes wide. Megan Rapinoe. Yeah, not too much joyous emotion on her face, and rightfully so. Not the best chances, and even she has gotten the opportunity, she has not put it in the back of the net. So a lot of changes for the United States, by the way. You're looking at that. Attendance, 41,107 inside Eden Park. Just to put in perspective, that is about 1,000 less than the attendance we saw a few days ago in New Zealand. The host country played Norway here at Eden Park to start off this 2023 Women's World Cup. Dunn, split pass to Horan. Lavelle back towards Horan. Good 1-2 there. Now towards Fox. Fox crossed into the box. That one headed up by number 4, Vietnam. T2. Another foul, and it's going to be called offside, actually. So more changes coming, and again, a lot of different players getting touches on the ball. It looks like we're going to see more changes. A lot of them defensive here. 2 players known for playing right back in their career, Kelly Hera and Sofia Huerta, ready to come on for the United States. So it'll be interesting how that works. I would assume one of them would take the spot of Emily Fox, who had been playing right back and has honestly been playing more like a right midfielder, knowing her spacing on the pitch today, especially most recently in the second half. Lost there. Vietnam with the ball on the wing. And a lot of changes, a lot of new numbers coming in. This one played out by Kien. That's what it seemed like it was. Yeah, Tivon Su, rather. Tivon Su. Mental note. It looks like here are the changes coming. Crystal Dunn will be off. And so will, I believe, Emily Fox should be coming off. She is as well. So double fullback substitution. And with that, to my knowledge, United States are out of substitutions. Kelly O'Hara and Sofia Huerta checking back in. 85th minute. It looks like United States have used all their substitutions. O'Hara will be on the right. We'll see Huerta on the left. Girma on to Ertz. Flicked on there by Thompson. Nifty back heel. Thompson again. Slaloming through. Out on the wing. Sullivan, not the best cross. Fires past everybody. Goal kick. The 85th. So after this for the United States, they've got a match on Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern against Netherlands, a rematch of the 2019 Women's World Cup final in which the United States won 2-0. Been quite a journey for both of those two squads. I believe they also played off in the 2020 Olympics. That one, it was in the quarterfinals, I believe. The United States won that on penalties. Nonetheless, a chance here. Rose Lavelle with a shot off the crossbar. Did that go in? No indication. Alyssa Thompson now struggling to keep that in. She will, though. Did they call a goal? Looked like it was very close, though. Very close. I don't know. How about a chance though for Rose Lavelle? Speaking of that final, it hit off the crossbar, but it rang well forward from the goal line. So that was no goal. But again, good chance though for Lavelle in the United States, trying to make it 4-0, trying to get the capper here. Maybe a chance here for Sophia Smith to get a hat trick. There's Smith still slowing out. Now to Thompson. Lost away. Smith also went down before in the process. Haran? Rapino back to Haran. Some space going. It goes towards Thompson, but that's cut out there by the Vietnamese player again. It might have been T.I. Lin. I don't think she was taken off. But again, Sophia Smith with the first two goals. Lindsay Haran in the 77th minute has made it 3-0. Again, the United States won 13-0 last year, or rather, last edition of this World Cup in 2019. Here's Smith now going up, dancing on the ball. She's going to go on the right flank. She's still barreling through, and in the process, takes down a Vietnamese player. Free kick. Again, it's a good idea. Good idea by Smith to barrel through at the right moment. But again, it's almost at this point where the United States don't necessarily need to get a goal. It's just the want to get a goal. Just try to keep the momentum up, right? And more importantly, it also helps with goal differential too, as you have teams like the Netherlands that face off against Portugal sometime soon. I haven't really seen their game coming up. I think that should be coming up in a while. They're not playing this day. That is Saturday. It is in New Zealand. Rose Lavelle with another chance to make it 4-0. Here's Haran trying to find Lavelle, and that's cut back by Tito. 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time left. Again, good chance for Rose Lavelle. 12 yards out. Might have been the slightest touch there by T. Kim Tan. Nonetheless, we continue on. The United States players were celebrating like she scored. Give them credit for that. Haran, not a Rapino, and the referee's going to call the game back a little bit in the sense that T-Hai Lin, rather, still down on the pitch. So she's down on the pitch, and then a little bit of a hobbled leg as well, although she's not that egregiously in pain. Number 12, Pham Hai Yen. So Lin will be on the sideline. Looks like she might be checking out. We got another Vietnam player checking in. It'll be number 16, Duong Thi Van. And it looks like will be the change being made. So T.I. Lin out and Duong Thi Van now in. So very close. Stoppage time coming up soon. Not much to add. It's been that kind of day. Let's get back to play. Huerta out of Girma. Girma, after dribbling for a while, takes it out towards Ertz. In some space. She'll clip this up. Looking towards Lavelle. Lavelle tried going to Thompson on the overlap. A little too far, though. Ten minutes of stoppage time, by the way, coming up as we've got 5 seconds left in regulation. So quite a few stoppages. We did have a VAR check in the first half and also some injuries that complied with it. Not much in the second to slow things down. Meanwhile, Thompson now strangled on the ball. No foul called. It'll actually be 9 minutes, so balance it out, but you never know. Went up from 5 to 8 to 10 minutes of stoppage time. Huerta. Was that Huerta? Sorry, that was Huerta. My apologies. So it's Huerta on the left, O'Hara on the Huerta on the right. O'Hara. My apologies. 5 and 3. Came a little twisted there. Nonetheless, 26 shots today for the United States, 8 of them on goal. The dummy there is Horan, plays it out towards Rapinoe. Is a little touchback there by Chuang. Von Su, actually. Here's Horan. Horan touches on the ball, just lets it go, and that's going to be cooked back. Yerma. O'Hara. Rapinoe goes towards the attack. So O'Hara tries to make the overlapping run. A little too far. Throw in for Vietnam. Throw in taken. It's Tao. Want to do the honors. Vietnam has struggled to get out of their own territory today as Alyssa Thompson wins it right back for the United States in Vietnam territory. O'Hara puts Horan off the turn. What can Horan do? Got Smith. Sophia Smith out towards Lavelle. Horan out towards Rapinoe. Rapinoe not going at a fast pace. And again, probably just trying to preserve the legs for what should be a cutthroat type game with them against the Netherlands. To note, too, I talked about the attendance as well. You talked about New Zealand getting 42,000 for their match. The United States gets 41,000 today. Their stadium rather, they're going to play at has about 34,000. Their matchup against Netherlands in Wellington, which is the second largest city in the Netherlands. Should be a good one. I'm definitely looking forward to that one. Rematch of the 2019 Women's World Cup final. Horan, Rapinoe, now to Sophia Smith. Still dancing on the ball. Does she go for the hat trick here? She's still going to dance and still finding some space. And Lavelle eventually gets a pick. Now out on the wing for Huerta. Lavelle still going. Clip forward for Horan. She's on side here. Horan dancing into the middle. Smith tried to get a shot off. A little too far. Horan again facing maybe 5 or 6 Vietnamese players eventually cleared out. Only as far as Girma, or rather Dunn. Or Girma, my apologies. Dunn has been subbed off. Dunn's day is done. Girma sees it out, throwing. I mentioned this earlier, but how this Girma, born to Ethiopian refugees, master's in engineering, went to Stanford. Absolute great career. Her father and her parents in general must be very proud of her and all the accomplishments she has secured. Meanwhile, O'Hara threw to Rapinoe. That one blocked away by number 3 for Vietnam. That being a Chuang TQ. 4 minutes through. Sun's starting to get a little darker in Auckland. It's 8 p.m. here in Phoenix. So that means it's 11 p.m. on the East Coast, which means it is 3 p.m. in Auckland. The sunset is around 5 o'clock, so it kind of makes sense, though. Rapinoe from the corner flag whips it into the box, headed away, and eventually guaranteed out. Back towards Girma, the center back. Headed out there. Get Q to do the work. Huerta just keeps it in play. Out of O'Hara. Cleared up. 5 minutes of stoppage time passed, by the way. Got about 4 minutes left. Knowing the scoreline should probably end at around 4 minutes. I would expect it around. Yeah, a lot of words are being said that don't need to be said. Both from my mouth. It's nothing about inappropriateness. It's just trying to keep things tracked. O'Hara missed a chance there to get something. That will be a throw-in for the United States. As I mentioned, you have Netherlands going up. We don't know much about their matchup against Portugal. We can look up the Women's World Cup schedule. Netherlands Portugal will be at 12:30 a.m. Sunday. So it will be a match on Sunday in New Zealand. So it'll be more of a night game in that regards. This one's starting around 6 p.m. Phoenix time. Horan left into the box. Lavelle header just too high. How about that? Good tandem between the two midfielders, and Rose Lavelle, the 5'5" player. Not known for her heading, but almost had a great goal there. Just over. How about that? Close as you call it. Close as this American team wants a fourth to try to put a capper. And they've already kind of got coffin nails, but now it's just to add the icing to the cake. So throwing again, back towards Ertz. Pino thought about a 1-2, so I think keep it to herself. Towards Smith, who was tracking back. That's one back by the Vietnamese. Flipped up only as far as Huerta. Now down a hurdling Vietnamese player. And now that their crowd is starting to get into it, that cross just caught by Alyssa Nair. Good run down the left-hand side. Couldn't tell. I think it's one of the substitutes. Yeah, Win Timi An. Win Timi An. Good chance. About 90 seconds left in the match, by the way. Kelly O'Hara or Rapino. And two of the three players on this team, rather, there are a few of them, but not too many. I think it's Nair, O'Hara, Rapino, and Morgan. Only players that were born in the 1980s. Everybody else, 1990s. And in the case of a few, like Rodman and Thompson, 2000s. Ertz into the box, headed away. Only as far as Haran. Back out towards Julie Ertz on the right-hand side. Thompson. Dancing, crossing, headed up. O'Hara clipped in, back post, too far for Lavelle. Haran brings it down off the volley, and that goes into the stands. So many good chances. So many good chances for the United States in this one. A lot to be proud of as well, and a lot to be proud of Vietnam. Especially in terms, like from a betting perspective, Vietnam won this on spread. So kudos to them. O'Hara and Rapino. 9 minutes through, Rapino staying on her feet inside the box. O'Hara back into it, headed up, and Lavelle will probably see this out for a corner. Past 9 minutes, so this might be the last kick of the match. And indeed, it is. First match in New Zealand, and these Barbies have showed up. Dropped 3 goals on the debutante Vietnam. Final score 3-0 from Eden Park. Sophia Smith playing in her first ever Women's World Cup match. Got a brace in the first half. First in the 14th minute, the second in the first half stoppage time. And then Lindsay Horan, who was quite a stalwart in 2019 in the midfield, got the third in the 77th minute. A lot of chances on both sides, a lot of great goals, and a lot of great things the United States can use going into a big match against Netherlands on Wednesday. For now, looks like I'll be signing off. I got to do some prep for tomorrow's early morning live react between Denmark and China. Thanks for tuning in on YouTube and Instagram, wherever you were. We appreciate all your support for my broadcast, but more importantly, for the 2023 Women's World Cup. I'm Mihir Sinhasan. So long, good night, stay safe, and I might see you bright and early tomorrow morning.